So basically, I heard about this cool little technique you can do here in Uganda. I heard it from my friend Farouk on how to make a traditional trap and catch an African mudfish in the swamps. So today me and Farouk are going to show you how to catch a mudfish just using some few local tools and a bit of wire and a hook. And we'll show you how to catch one. Just getting some local materials to create this trap. Cutting the pieces down to size. Yep. So basically I've got some fishing wire here. You can use anything though. You can use stitchings or shoelaces, but we've got some fishing wire here. So basically we're just going to measure a full length like that of my chest, of my arm strength, and just going to cut that. I'm going to make about 5 of these with hooks on the end of them, which we're going to set up, catch a mudfish. So now I've got these hooks here, which we're going to use. There you go, one hook. So we've got our 5 pieces of hardwood here. So we've got about 5 hooks here, all tied onto about 1 meter length of fishing wire. So we're going to make about 5 traps, because the more traps, the more chance you've got. It's going to rain. So there you have it. This sits on top of the mud and the water, so it kind of acts as a bit of an anchor, stopping this from going all the way in. And on the end here, we have a hook, which we'll put some bait on there. We have to find some bait, and basically that'll sit there, and the mudfish will come and eat the bait, hook itself, and as it pulls, this is going to stop it from getting away. As you can see over here in the horizon, looks like a storm's coming, so we'll go set these traps tomorrow morning. Cool. Hey! Yeah! Alright, so here we are. We're in the swamps, and this is where we're going to catch a mudfish. But first things first, we need to find some bait. So we're going to look for some worms or for some frogs to put on the end of these hooks. So basically, to get bait, frogs are not out at this time, so we're going to have to settle for worms. But you just look through the mud and just pull some up. So here we have a good example of some good muddy place, and of course the mud stinks a bit, and there's lots of mosquitoes here. Mosquitoes with malaria and yellow fever. It's here. Alright, so here you go, that's what we're looking for. Basically here we have here a little stack of worms, and we're going to use this to put on the ends of the hooks and make a little trap to catch a mudfish. So that's what we're going to go do now. So Farouk, tell me what you're doing.
So I'm trying to dig a hole here, then such that we can set a trap. Because now the mudfish doesn't move during daytime, it moves at night.
Okay. The mudfish moves in just fairly shallow swampy water like this, as you can see. They dig a bit of a hole, and that's where we're going to put the trap in. We got some bait, basically worms. Have a look here.
So these are worms. They have to be alive.
Yep. So we're going to put these on the end of the hook.
Yep. I'm going to put this worm, in the hole where I've dug. So the reason as to why we keep on doing things like this, it's not a torture. But when it does like that, or maybe if it rotates like that, it attracts them to come.
Yeah, you gotta keep it live and fresh.
Yeah.
And as you can see, when the fish bites onto the worm and gets hooked on, it's not going to be able to race off because we've got this little stick here on the end of it, which will kind of hold as an anchor and keep it from running away. So we've left this one, and we'll check it in a few days' time. We'll go set some more first. We've found a hole where mudfish sleeps, and we're going to set a trap in here to get ourselves a big mudfish in the swamp here. So I'm just going to set a trap up. So there's the bait. Unfortunately, walking in this swamp means you get bitten by leeches and bull ants and things, so I've already had a few bites, but it's worth it to get a mudfish.
Which dug here like this.
So the mudfish dug this hole. So they actually dig out little holes here amongst these grasses, and this is where it lives. Perfect, all set. Come back in a few days and see if we've got a mudfish. So after setting a few more traps, we called it a day and we headed back home, and decided we'd come back the next day to check to see if we had anything. So we're back and we're checking the first trap. Nothing. Trap number 2. Nothing.
Also has nothing.
Nothing. Nothing on this one.
This one also was, something was eaten.
Something's biting.
Yeah.
But nothing on the hook. Nothing. At this point, we thought that we didn't have any mudfish on the end of the line, but as Farouk was pulling up the line and the hook, he actually managed to hook onto a big mudfish that was there in the hole, and we had him on the hook. We got one. We got a one.
Bring it up there, bring it up there. Just bring it up there.
We got one. We got a big one. Mudfish actually resemble more closely to a big snake or a big eel, and as a result they're very slippery to get your hands around, so there was no way we'd be able to grab this thing out with our hands. Also the fact that they've got a lot of power in them, and they actually have a mouth with a few teeth in it that could actually take your fingers off. We're good, we just got to get it in the bag now. So this is the hardest part because it's a big fish.
They're very big.
So basically we've got a big one, but it's difficult to get out, so we're just going to get a hoe and we're going to try and hook it out like that because it's so slippery and it's big and it wriggles around a lot, so it's hard for both of us to grab it in our hands. Disappointingly here, the mudfish got off the hook. We thought that we weren't going to get a mudfish for that day.
Good.
Got away, and it was a big one. Fortunately, as Farouk decided to stick his hoe back into the water, the mudfish came up for a big gulp of air, and we realised we were still in business. He was trapped in this little hole. So next came the long part of trying to fish this energetic, big, fat mudfish out of its hole. Basically, the next 15 minutes involved us trying to use a stick to fish this mudfish out of its hole into the surface of the water, while using a machete to try and whack it on its head and stun it so that we could get it into the sack that we had. That's one way of doing it.
Hey, there's a hole there. Push!
I stabbed it, but it came out.
Bring.
Finally, after giving it a few whacks to the head and having its energy run low, I managed to stab the mudfish in the neck and pull it with the knife in its neck and drag it into the sack, and we had ourselves a mudfish.
Big man.
Alrighty.
Congratulations.
There you go. Took a while.
Yep.
We got the mudfish.
Big one.
There you have an African mudfish, and it took a while to get him, but we got him. He's a big one, as you can see. There's a lot of meat on him, and we're going to be happy to eat him up. As you can see him there. There's his big face there. You can see him, and he packs a bite on him. But that's how you catch an African mudfish. Well done. Yeah.
La 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 la